5 of the last 6 days, we've been able to hit a plus money bankroll builder. And today, we're going to try to do 2 of them because last night we cashed in on another one. Let's have a great day on the hardwood, guys. There's a lot of action. This is the free 3. I'm about to get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video, breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day as we just try to get to the bag together and make that money. Yesterday, listen, it was an up and down day. It started off a little bit bad, but we were able to get it back. And listen, the Bankroll Builder for me is my best bet of the day. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm putting 2, 3, 4% of my bankroll on that bet. That plus 100 money line parlay, yes, it doesn't always cash and it doesn't always hit, but it's been so consistent. Like I said, 5 of the last 6 days we've hit one. We hit 2 hardwood haymakers in a row, back-to-back weekends, plus a 2,000, plus 1,000. Do not sleep on just getting the winner because sometimes spreads can be a little bit tough. We saw that yesterday when we took Kansas to get us started. You can see how we did yesterday here on the channel. Our first best bet of the day, Kansas plus 6.5. I was just trying to take the dog. I said, you don't have to win, just take the points. Well, they couldn't get it done. We took West Virginia's team total under. We needed 53 points or less, or 52 points or less. They scored 54. That's just heartbreaking. 27 points in each half. So a 2-2 day yesterday because we were able to pick it up with the Cincy and Colorado under late night, and then also the Bankroll Builder. So that's kind of how the last few days have gone for us. Back-to-back 2-2 days where we get some of the early games wrong, but we're able to make it up in late night. And truthfully, I'm not that too mad at it. When I wake up in the morning, I look at my phone, and I'm like, oh yeah, we still smacked. We still made a little bit of money, even though it wasn't our best day. So far here on the free 3, it hasn't been a bad year. 33-25, so 8 games above 500. We've been doing well, and if you've been staying with us on Twitch after we finished the live recording right now on the YouTube video at Noble Living on Twitch, then we add a few more extra plays in there which we track on the Action Network, and you can see overall yesterday we went 4-2. Not too bad of a day. I'll take a 4-2 day. If you want to look at some of the picks that we've been able to draw up here on the channel, I think we added Jalen Green's points over 23.5. We were able to get that done, and then also an NBA parlay builder. No Karl Anthony Towns here, which was probably the juiciest of the leg. You see how chalky that was. But we got Austin Reeves 6 assists, Anthony Edwards 20 points, and it's crazy because I was actually going to add Paolo Banchero over 20 points, and I changed Karl Anthony Towns for Banchero for Karl Anthony Towns. So I wanted to take a safer leg, and Banchero had 22. So that would have cashed in yesterday. That's why you guys got to tap into the stream. Give you guys the free 3 plays that I like right now. You see the Wake Forest, the Bradley, the Purdue. That was the Bankroll Builder. But also we're following it up with a few extra plays, all right? Today on the channel, I've got 4 best bets for you guys. 3 in college basketball, 1 side, 2 bankroll builders, and then I also have 1 NBA player for you guys, all right? I'm starting to ease my way back into the NBA a little bit, so please bear with me. I know there's a lot of NBA shows out there, so you guys don't need my analysis on the NBA. You're good on the NBA. There's not as much college basketball analysis out there, so this is my niche. This is where I'm going to hang out for a little bit, all right? If you guys have been enjoying the video, smash that subscribe button for me. I really appreciate it, and if you're new, then you guys know what to do. Drop 30 below, 30, that's it. If we sweep the board, I'm Venmoing somebody some bread. $30 for being able to support. It's simple, all right, my friends? Don't overthink it. Our first best bet of the day, we are going to head over here to this mid-major matchup, all right? A lot of games on the slate today. Actually, a much bigger Thursday card than I was expecting. A lot of games that you guys can decide between, a lot of toss-ups out there. But the first one I'm going to take a look at is this Marist and St. Peter's game. This is my first caveat of the day, guys. Wait to take this game a little bit closer to game time or live. Because right now, you can see it's basically a pick-up. -108, -108, -12, -110, whatever. You're going to be able to get either team at plus money value on the money line. So that's what I would do. For the sake of the show, we're going to lock it in right now for my overnight bettors. But for us, what we're going to do real quickly is we're going to go Marist, money line, -110 odds. I can get at -108 right here. So I'm just going to lock that in for 1 unit down. The reason why I like Marist here today, they're taking on St. Peter's. One, you can see the record, 12-2 against 6-7. Now, I will admit, this is one of those lines that if you're sharp at college basketball, you're going to smash St. Peter's. Because you're going to ask yourself, why is a 12-2 team, basically an underdog, +1, -109 on the money line against a team that's 6-7. This screams trap. I'm not going to lie to you guys. If you want to stay off of it, stay off of it. But this is one of the spots where I just think we have the wrong. Why? Marist is 7-7 against the number, even across the board. So there's nothing you could say like they've been consistently good, consistently bad. But same thing with St. Peter's here. But when you dive into St. Peter's a little bit more at Marist, I like this Marist team. They're 12-2 on the year. They have the 7th longest win streak in the country, 8 games in a row. You have to be a pretty good team to win 8 games. Now, keep in mind, the competition's not all that good, but a Quinnipiac team, that's a decent win, right? Their strength of schedule has not been the best. But one thing that gives me confidence in this Marist team, if you look at the Metro Atlantic projections here, they were projected to finish 2nd in the conference right behind Merrimack. Well, St. Peter's, they're projected to finish near the bottom of the conference. So this is a very good Marist team that started off 5-0 in conference. They picked up a tough win at Iona. Iona is not a tough place to play. Remember, Rick Pitino used to coach there, right? It's a very tough place to play for this type of conference. Now they travel on the road to St. Peter's. And if you remember St. Peter's years ago with Shareem Holloway, that's the team that went to the Elite 8 after they upset some great teams in the NCAA tournament. They still have that same type of system. Play slow, play defense. That's what keeps them in games. But just like Seton Hall has their troubles offensively, this St. Peter's team has their trouble offensively. 324th in offensive efficiency, 39th in effective field goal percentage, 345th in turnover percentage, 354th in two-point percentage. They cannot score the ball. And that is going to be a struggle against this Marist team. Now, keep in mind, KenPom has this as a win for St. Peter's. I'm going against KenPom in this matchup, but I like Marist here. They struggle offensively, but defensively, they are decent, and they still have a top 102 in effective field goal percentage, 88th in two-point percentage, and guess what St. Peter's does not do well? Out of everything, they guard the 3 well, they don't guard the 2 well. And Marist is more of a 2-point team than a 3-point team. I like Marist in this situation. They've been on a hot streak. They're going to get St. Peter's best blow today. Don't get me wrong. I would not be surprised if this one comes down to the last second. You're going to be biting your nails, but this is a mid-major matchup for me where I think that we're getting a little bit of value on a team here because we're getting a little bit of an overreaction to a spot. When you really look at the schedule for Marist, they've played away games. They've been strong in conference. They've beaten some of the top better teams in conference like Quinnipiac, like Iona. A great win against a very good UMBC team here, and Army team, and Richmond. I like Marist here. I'm taking them on the money line on the road today as our first best bet of the day. For my second pick of the day, we are going to go to the NBA. And if you paid attention to us yesterday in stream, there was a guy that I mentioned. This is just a smash spot for me, all right? I understand we're on the second night of a back-to-back, and sometimes right now in the NBA that doesn't favor us well. We have a great matchup between the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. I lean Cleveland in this game. I would take them on the money line. So if you don't want to sweat Marist, then sweat Cleveland. No Isaiah Hartenstein for Cleveland. And I just think that Jared Allen is going to be a popular pick today. I've already heard him on some analysts' reports. I'm going to think he's going to be a popular pick on Twitter. I like it, but I would be a little bit nervous. But I want to go to this game here between the Rockets and the Kings. The Rockets played last night. They picked up a dub, right? The Kings are at home. I see why the spread is what it is, but I don't necessarily agree with it. I think the Rockets can win this game. And if the Rockets win this game, then they're going to lean very heavily on one of their stars, the guy who's been balling out of his mind. We're going to go to his points here, and that's Mr. Jalen Green. You can see the line's already dropped to 22.5. I had it at 23.5. So let's take it at 22.5. At -125 odds, I will pay that juice. I think we're getting value on him here. Why? Because it's the second night of the back-to-back. But let's look at Jalen Green's numbers here real quickly and why I've been such a fan of him lately. Jalen Green, last game out against the Nuggets, which was yesterday, he scored 34 points on 10 of 16 shooting. That's efficient. 6 of 10 from the three-point line. That's efficient. And he's getting to the free throw line. And you saw he had 8 attempts yesterday, right? But look at this. 34, 42, 27, 29, 33, 27. Why do we have 22.5 here? And this is a guy like this, right? Like, I get it. The Kings are playing different ball since they fired their coach. I get it. But this is the thing. When you have a young guy like a Jalen Green, like a Jordan Clarkson, like even Shy sometimes, but SGA doesn't feel the need to go out there and get 40 points. And Ant's another good example. He's a guy that when he comes off a game where he dropped 30 and he dropped 40, you can expect at least the volume. At least the volume. I would be shocked if my people on Prize Picks, you want to take over 18 shot attempts. I don't know what the shot attempt line is at. It might be up here. I don't know if they have like the attempts line, but that might not be a bad look. I would not be opposed to the attempts because I think he's going to get 19 to 20 plus attempts. I mean, you can see the volume right here. And even in this game, he had 22 and he still had 9 of 21. He hits 1 or 2 more shots. He hits 1 3-pointer. He gets over this number. The volume's there for Jalen Green. And if we go to Fantasy Pros here and we go look at shooting guards, well, that's the Kings. That's Green. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th in NBA in terms of most 3-pointers given up to shooting guards, or points given up to shooting guards, excuse me. Jalen Green, Skettit's on the second night of a back-to-back, so that's even more important for your superstar to show up, in all honesty. And I like Jalen Green here. I know he had a big game yesterday, but we're going to lock that in for 1 unit down as our second best bet of the day. For our third and best bet of the day, third and fourth, let's do a Bankroll Builder. How's that sound, guys? All right, we're going to craft it live here on stream. A lot of college basketball games that I do like today that I think can go in the direction that we need to. A lot of favorites. You know how we like the money lines here when we do these Bankroll Builders. The first one today, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to be greedy. Please use your discretion. You can combine these if you want to in one big parlay. We're not advised that. You could do it, because I think both are going to hit. But this is a 7 p.m. an early Bankroll Builder and then a late night Bankroll Builder. So I split it up for you guys based on the teams. If you want to cross-pollinate teams and just sweat it out all night, that'd probably be the smarter thing to do. That's what we've been doing over the last few nights. The 7 p.m. one, right? Let's go to UNC Wilmington minus 245 against Northeastern. Now, I will tell you this. If UNC Wilmington loses this game, they are officially on the ban list. They have like 4 losses on the year, and I think I've been on this side. 5 losses. I've been on like 3 of those losses on the money line. Against Townsend, I didn't take them against Hofstra. I want to say maybe against Colgate. No, I've been on the wrong side of them before. And this UNC Wilmington team is a good team. They shouldn't win the Colonial Athletic, but they're good enough to be like a top 4 seed. And that can matter because come conference tournament time, you just have to play the right team once. And that's all you need. You can see right here, the projections have them right underneath Townsend, Elon, Charleston, and William Mary, which basically makes sense for where they are as a team. Good, 2-2 in conference, right? Now they face a Northeastern team that's okay. That's not bad. But you can see every time they've stepped up in class, Princeton, Vermont, Northwestern, Hofstra, Townsend, they've lost. They have no quality wins. LaSalle and Florida Gulf Coast are their best quality wins. Well, UNC Wilmington's a top 150 team on KenPom. They're going on the road today. They have yet to really pick up a good, nice road conference win. I mean, Stony Brook doesn't count because they're god-awful. They're 337. Like, they're an auto fade. Stony Brook is. You can't get even value anymore on them in terms of fading them on the money line. UNC Wilmington at home, strong offense, 137th here. Turnover percentage is good. You know, if you're not hitting threes, that's tough sometimes, but this is a battle-tested team. They've played Kansas. They've played Appalachian State, East Carolina. These are top 200 games here that they've played. Top 10 game here. Northeastern doesn't have a single one of those on their calendar. Not even not even a top 100 game. That matters at this point in the conference. So we're going to take UNC Wilmington at home on the money line as the first leg. The second leg is we're going to go down here. You could take Charleston. I'm not opposed to them, but they're on the road against Campbell. That could be a tricky spot. I like North Florida here, but North Florida is just one of those teams that really don't play defense. So you're really expecting them to win a game like 90 to 85. And if you're not hitting shots, anything can happen, right? We're going to go with Michigan here against Minnesota. Don't really need to break this down so much for you guys. Minnesota has yet to win a game in conference. They're auto fade. Michigan's a great team, 5-0 in conference. You can see KenPom has a 10-point win. Minnesota 0-6 in conference. They've been close. They cover. So that's why I just don't that's why we're getting 5.5 on Michigan on the spread in this matchup, right? Because Minnesota does, we're getting 9.5, excuse me. Sorry. Minnesota does cover, but they don't win. So that's why we're just taking the money line here. So those 2 legs together get you to minus 145. The last leg is going to be Liberty. And this game is actually at 9 p.m. So this game is actually not as early as I thought it would be. So maybe I can give you guys another one instead of Liberty. But I would take Liberty here against UTEP. on the money line. If you parlay those three together, that gets you to plus 115, right? So that's like the first bankroll builder that I really like. I did say I want to give you guys one early. You could take out Liberty and put Delaware against Stony Brook. Like I said, Stony Brook is kind of auto fade right now. So if we do that, sorry, now I'm like literally streaming trying to craft this live. But let's see here. Fade Stony Brook. Stony Brook's on the road. Delaware's at home. I like all of that. Minus 650. That gets you to minus 105. That's not bad. I'll lock that in for a unit. It's not bad. It's not bad. You could do Delaware. So that's the early parlay. All right. Late night parlay. We're gonna go San Francisco. Let's change this to money line. I'm staying off Maryland and Northwestern. I lean Maryland. I just told you guys I like Liberty, but I'm keeping that off right now. And actually, in all honesty, UTEP is a team that could upset them, but Liberty is very strong offensively and they should win. Staying off this Nebraska game because Ace Bailey, Dylan Harper, Nebraska doesn't really play defense, and you're asking hoopers to hoop, and anything could happen. So I'm just staying off that game. All right. I'm not saying they don't win. I like to take sure legs as much as possible. San Fran is a sure leg to me. They're on the road, but this is more of a fade on Pepperdine here. So let's pull this up real quick. Pepperdine, you can see they just picked up their first conference win last game, okay? And that's against number 300 Pacific. Pepperdine's not really good. Every time they step up in class, St. Mary's, they lost by 30. They played Gonzaga tough at home, but Gonzaga really didn't play that good in that game in all honesty. And then Santa Clara, they lost. Northwestern, UNLV, UC Irvine. So they don't have any top 150 wins. New Mexico State's probably their best win, and that win looks a lot better now because New Mexico State has won like 6 games in a row. But it didn't look too good when it happened around here when New Mexico State wasn't winning games. So San Francisco is a team that is always right there. Like they're like your little brother of the Western Coast Conference, right? You have Gonzaga, then you have St. Mary's, and then normally San Fran follows up right there in third place, typically. This year it's going to be a little bit different because you have Oregon State in the conference. You've got Washington State because they're no longer a part of the Pac-12. Ken Palm has a 6-point win for San Fran. They just lost to Santa Clara. Santa Clara is a really good team this year. They're going to be a contender in the Western Coast Conference, and that game was on the road. This game was on the road. This game was on the road. There comes a point when you, as a coach, which Chris, however you say his name, he's a good coach, his third year there, right? You got to look at what's, you know that you've lost all your road games primarily at this point. All their wins have really been at home, except for this one against Pacific. This is the game where you get over the hump. This is the team where you're able to do that at. Then you pick up a win against Oregon State before you travel on the road against St. Mary's, right? This is one of those conferences where you just don't want to drop some of those games because your seeding really matters. That's the difference between playing St. Mary's and playing Gonzaga. Like, let's be honest. So I think this is one of those games where it's a good situational spot for San Fran. Coming off of a loss, I think they can be able to rebound against a very weak Pepperdine team, and we're taking them. Speaking about the big dogs of the Western Coast Conference, Gonzaga, we're taking them on the money line today against Oregon State. Gonzaga should just win. They're a better team, okay? Same thing with Washington State. They are taking on San Diego. San Diego is just one of the fade teams in the Western Coast Conference. They're not that good of a team. If we pull up San Diego real quickly here, 4-14 on the year, 300, 256, 289, non-D1 win. Do we need to talk about anything else? Those 3 legs get you to minus 108, okay? If you want to throw in a last leg to get you to plus 1,000 to 100, we're going to go Grand Canyon at home against Abilene Christian. And this is more of a fade on Abilene Christian. And also, Grand Canyon is one of the toughest places to play in all of college basketball. It's one of those mid-major environments that's absolutely rocking. The students go crazy. I went to a Grand Canyon game in Atlanta, and they had students who came from Phoenix to go to the game. That's wild, okay? That's the type of atmosphere Abilene Christian's going to have to play in today. They've lost 4 straight games. They're 0-2 in conference. Ken Palm has an 11-point loss for them. Grand Canyon, a top 100 team. They've played some good teams, and they just lost on the road into Utah Valley. Grand Canyon's at the point where they have to win this conference if they're going to make the NCAA tournament. Like, they don't have the out-of-conference wins. Yeah, they beat Stanford. They tried to play Arizona State. They lost. They lost to Georgia, right? They have a few good wins against St. Louis and Bryant, but those are not going to be resume movers when you've lost to freaking Utah Valley and you're going to lose maybe to Seattle, down the road. You got to win these games against like these weaker opponents. Abilene Christian plus 1,000 on the money line. Don't overthink it, okay? 1 unit down to win 1.1 units. That's the 4 best bets that we're going with today on the free 3. It's a little bit of a longer episode. I do apologize about that. Here we go. We've got Jalen Green over 22.5 points. That's our NBA player prop of the day. Minus 125 odds. We've got our 4-way parlay. San Fran, Gonzaga, Washington State, and Canyon plus 110. Marist minus 108, but this is a game I'd really wait to grab live. And then we've got our other early bankroll builder, UNC Wilmington, Michigan, and then Delaware. That's minus 106. All right, my friends, those 3 bets will get you there. If you want to add another leg to that, you got Liberty as well. You could see the numbers here. Last 30 days, we're up about $1,000. Last 7 days, over $500. We're doing all right, guys. We're doing all right. Let's keep the momentum going. Let's not rest on our laurels, and let's keep building, right? Every day, just like the bankroll builder. It's just doing our research, staying disciplined, and showing up, man, and not overextending ourselves. Let's keep getting after it, friends. Let's get to that money. 30 below, and that can cash app somebody or bill somebody $30 if we sweep the board. All right, my friends? Let's have a day. I'll be on stream a little bit later, maybe this evening, to talk about some more NBA action once we get a few more props out there. I don't really like covering the board so early in the day. Like you saw me, I put in Karl Anthony Towns and he didn't play. So just when I get the injury news, I know I'm going to lose a little bit of value on the props, but I'm really looking for like 1 or 2 plays a day right now and just making our money and living to see the next day. A lot of people are losing money coin out here. Great days, bad days. Great days, bad days. Let's lower down the volatility. We've been 2-2 last few days, so let's see what we can do to sweep the board. All right, my friends? Appreciate y'all. Let's have a great day, and I'll see y'all on tomorrow's video. Later.